I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned. And if you listen to the old-timers in town, they'll tell you he's still out there. Some sort of demented creature. Surviving in the wilderness. Full grown by now. Stalking. Stealing what he needs. Living off wild animals and vegetation. Some folks claim they've even seen him. Right in this area. The girl who survived that night at Camp Blood, that Friday the 13th, she claims she saw him.
And that girl's name was Nick from the Lost River Drive-In, and we haven't seen him in a very long time, or her. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I love Nick. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FACCI'S Cinema. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I know a lot of people are probably out checking out Final Destination Bloodlines. It's the popular thing to do this weekend. But tonight I wanted to talk Friday the 13th, Part 2. One of my personal favorites in the franchise. And I wanted to bring on some cool guests to hang out and just talk about why we like this movie. So we got the boys from the UNEEDA Horror Podcast. We got Christian, Planet CHH. What's going on?
What's going on, my brother? How are you?
Good, good. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Loving the channel, loving the content. You're always grinding and always appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And then we also got my boy, Nick. I was just joking in the intro. From the Lost River Drive-In. There he is. What's going on, buddy?
You said there was cool people on here? Where are they at?
I don't know. I thought you two were pretty cool. You guys are pretty cool dudes. So I guess, unless you don't want to be, that's up to you. So whatever you want to do. No,
well,
he's this loser.
I might be. I don't know about Christian, but...
Fuck. I don't know. You both are smarter than me, so... Kids are doing something right. I love both your content.
Like my shirt? Do you like my shirt?
I'm eating at Chili's.
That's good. I wonder if they have an Applebee's version.
Oh, God. So you're saying Chili's is ass, is what you're saying?
No, I love Chili's. That's why my mom got me this shirt for Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, your mom?
Yeah, dude. Hold on. It was because my teenage brother saw me like an Instagram reel with it, and he sent it to my mom and was like, "Mom, buy this shirt for Nick." So it was my brother's idea, but...
Well, either way, it's a hell of a nice shirt, my friend. I'm glad you chose to wear it tonight. Jason would be proud.
I wore it in my Final Destination review. I hope YouTube isn't pissed off about that.
I want that. I want a shirt like that, but they reverse them.
When I'm not eating chili,
I'm eating ass.
I want that version.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure they make it, so it's probably definitely out there. But like I said, here tonight to talk a little bit of Friday the 13th Part 2. One of my personal favorites in the franchise.
Also, you said the podcast name wrong. You need a Hara.
Oh, Hara, my bad.
Yeah, you gotta get your Cajun going on.
Sorry. At least I got it semi-right. Just missing the accent. I apologize.
Yeah.
But Yins are some good dudes, so what are you gonna do? There's Pittsburgh accent for you, Nick. This bad boy directed by good old Steve Miner. Also directed, I think, unless I got my facts wrong, House, Friday the 13th Part 3, everybody's favorite Halloween movie, Halloween H2O, and Lake Placid, actually.
I was gonna say Lake Placid. Yeah.
Lake Placid.
I'm Lake Placid right now.
From eating that fucking ass or the Chili's, whichever one. I do prefer Chili's over Applebee's, just to put it out there.
Well, Applebee's is where you go when Chili's is packed.
Yes.
When you don't know, when nobody can decide where they're going to eat, you go to Chili's, and then when Chili's is packed, you go to Applebee's.
Yep.
And when Applebee's is packed, that's because there's an apocalypse going on, and people are just in there to stay out from being outside or something. I've never seen an Applebee's packed in my life.
What? My Applebee's is packed every day of the week. I don't know why.
They're laundering something, or they're funneling drugs through it. They're funneling drugs through that Applebee's.
That's what they're doing. I hate Applebee's. My kids like it. I don't like it at all.
Dude, how can you hate Applebee's? There's literally so much you can get there. Like, it's not one specific thing.
But it's not very good. I just don't want to eat it. My kids go there and get like mac and cheese. Like, I can make that at home. Like, that's a waste of time.
I was never. Never.
I gotta get those triple dippers from Chili's. Them triple dippers. I keep seeing them on TikTok, and they look so good. But they're expensive. I looked up like the prices for them. They cost a lot of money.
What are they? Probably like $18?
Yeah, for like 3 of them. Granted, they're like the size of bricks, but I mean, I can see on TikTok these pull aparts that people do with them, and they look delicious, but they're expensive. So
I'm going to get one right now. It's DoorDash.
No, it's my fucking cat wanting out. That fat fuck laid down and then was like, "Oh, you know what? I actually want out."
My cat's running around meowing over there at something. Fuck that cat. But this one we got. Let's take a look at the stat line like I did for the first movie. Same for this. Critics on Rotten Tomatoes give this movie a 33%. Didn't expect anything less. Audience gave it a 48%. That one kind of shocks me. Budget of $1 million. Box office of $21.7 million. I don't know. A lot of people take this as the kickoff of the franchise. I know a lot of people who like the first one obviously do not consider this one the kickoff of the franchise, but I could see both sides of the tape. And we're going to talk about what we think is good about Friday the 13th, Part 2. And I will let Christian kick it off with what he likes about this movie.
Titties.
Is there
yes, Sarah, I do. One. I do. Okay, Christian, go ahead.
My chat won't even load, so I don't know what people are saying.
Someone asked if I eat ass.
Oh, okay. One of the things I do love about 2, and I think it's the only Friday film to actually do this, which in its own way makes it unique, because essentially every Friday the 13th film has its own unique feel to it. Mm-hmm. But 2 is the only one that really feels like the first film, I think. They feel very, very similar in terms of the tone. And, I mean, I like everything about this film, I'll be honest with you. There's something about that early 80s feel that's so different from the late 80s feel of the Friday films. And I'm not trying to sound cheesy, but like just the spook factor in the first couple are just out of this world. Fantastic. There's things that the first essentially first 4 Fridays do that I like better than the latter, and then there's some things about the latter that they do that I like more. But man, Part 2 is like such a great film to watch in just a pitch black room. I'm not really somebody that loves to talk about characters, so to speak, but man, I really love everybody in this film. They're all kind of weird too. They're quirky, like that skinny redhead guy. It's like he's like interesting to look at. He looks like he weighs like 70 pounds. He talks really fast and has weird jokes. I love the camp. I think this one was still in New Jersey where they filmed it, I believe. But if I'm right, it was either very close to Part 1 or not. But I want to say that Part 2 was filmed in New Jersey at the camp Nobi Bosco. I could be off on that.
It says Part 2 was primarily filmed in Litchfield County, Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay, Connecticut. That's right.
Close enough.
Well, anyway, it's in the same. That's New Jersey is not a New England state, but my point is it's in the same. Dude, the woods up there. That's Friday the 13th to me more than anything. Like I love this. Like I think Part 6 or 7 were like Georgia, and you can just tell the difference in the woods. Like those woods look like southern woods. It looks like the woods by me, but dude, something about that New England forest up there. That's so spooky to me. I love where they shot those movies so much. So I mean, I could go on and on. Honestly, there's like I literally love everything about Part 2. I don't think I have anything negative to say about it, to be honest with you.
Damn. Okay. Well, Nick, what do you love about Friday the 13th Part 2?
Boobies.
Are there boobies in? Why can't I? Oh yeah, the girl swimming, Terry.
No, I mean, not to sound like a broken record, but yeah, I don't think there's the characters. Okay, and this is not to shit on the first one, Christian. Don't worry, but like, I think
I'm cool.
I think the characters are better in this one. I definitely like the cast better. I like the camaraderie better. I've always liked Sackhead Jason. I feel like that's feral Jason. Like part 2, 3, and 4, I think are some of the better. Everybody's big on Kane Hodder, man, and it's not that I don't like Kane Hodder's portrayal, but there's something I like more about the like more animalistic Jason. Part 2's Jason is the devil. I like the opening. I know it pissed a lot of people off. I know it pissed a lot of people off. I dig it. I think that Friday Part 2, 3, and 4 definitely 2 and 3 at least really feel more episodic. I feel like 1 just kind of feels like an outlier. I don't know if it's because Jason's not there. I don't know if it's because I don't really connect with the characters. But yeah, I just like the overall vibe of this movie a lot better. I didn't know that it was shot in Connecticut. I actually thought it was shot in New Jersey at the camp that Christian mentioned. I'd never want to fuck that camp's name up. Yeah, man, pretty much everything he said. I'm sure I could find a minor gripe here and there. But for the longest time, this was my favorite Friday. It's actually my mom's favorite Friday as well. But it has since been overtaken by Part 3. But I feel like this movie's aces.
Okay. And before I go over anything else, but I forgot to mention, obviously, cast, we got Amy Steele, Adrian King, Warrington Gillette, and Steve Dash as Jason, whichever one. They all both take credit, even though one of them was only in the movie for like 5 seconds. Music, once again, Harry Manfredini, and no Tom Savini for special effects because he was doing the burning instead. So he was not here for this.
Yeah, it is pretty interesting that, I've heard it in interviews in the past, but it's just like, I guess I'm too, like, I am not too, I'm so not proud. Like if I did the first Friday and they, offered me the job for the second one, I just can't imagine in my wildest dreams saying, that doesn't make sense. Of course I'm not doing it. Like, no, I'm going, like, I want to be in another movie. Like, I want to work on another film. I mean, granted, he probably was able to handpick his movies at that point since, that renaissance of that makeup stuff was fine. But I don't know. Like, for me, it's just like the first thing that gets offered to me. But I would just take it every time. I'm not saying he did the wrong thing, so to speak, because, man, I love the look of Cropsey. He killed it on that. But I like the look of Jason. This one too. Who did it? Was it I think it was Carl Fullerton. I don't know if he did the look of Jason, but I know he did a lot of the effects stuff. Which, Facci, I don't know if you've seen it. I'm sure you have the Scream Factory box set. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
I do.
Okay, well, I think the only way you can see this stuff is on that disc. I think there could be a chance somebody uploaded this on YouTube. But when that was getting announced, man, I remember, dude, it was probably like 3 weeks before those things were getting ready to ship. And all of a sudden, Peter Bracke was like, posted a picture of a VHS tape that said Carl Fullerton effects reel F13 2. And we were shitting ourselves because we would hear on, I think it was on Jason, His Name Was Jason, which was the documentary from like 2008. They talked about this. They said one of the guys, I think it was Nicotero or somebody, said that he actually got to see the shish kebab where you get to see the thing go through both of them in the bed. And the way he described it was like, oh my God, let me go look this up. And of course I couldn't find it. I wanted to see it so bad. And it was cool to get to see that. And there were other kills in there too that were pretty cool. They showed Alice in the beginning, like she gets that in the head, and then she turns. I hate the fact that she sticks her tongue out, though. I would have cut that in the movie regardless. But dude, as a fan, I mean, just seeing any shred of extra material from this movie that I'd never seen before. I mean, are you kidding me? I literally, I would do anything to see. There was a look that they did. This is kind of off topic, but there you could see these images online. there was a different look for Jason in the third film where he had more of a gnarly kind of animal face. It was a symmetrical face, but you could see it online. As a matter of fact, it's pretty famous. They've used it, like, I think, on the Waxwork vinyl inlay. It's a completely different look of Jason's face where they have images, high-res images of it, but like that footage, I would literally die the next day just so I could see it. Like, I would love to see all that footage. Because there's still some stuff that's, I don't know if it exists anymore, probably not by this point, but yeah, it's actually a really great look of Jason too. It's very different though. It's a symmetrical face, but he looks like a beast. Like he has like this really mean, almost bat-like face.
Is that the one that was in the added like dream sequence where he cut off Chris's head? Is that
That's
the face?
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
The footage, I just don't think is. I think the footage is just gone for that.
That would have been.
But my point is, yeah. But my point is, and I like the look for 3. But going back to 2, seeing that stuff was amazing. I mean, and it was actually impressive how good that VHS looked. I think, a lot of time that tape wears down and then the image gets bad. I think that guy Carl put it in a box and forgot about it for almost 40 years at that point. So we were lucky to be able to see that.
For me, I definitely, like you said, the camp atmosphere is fantastic because obviously we kind of lose that as the franchise goes along. Obviously, part 3 we're not at a camp, 4 not at a camp, 5 not at a camp, 7 not at a camp, 8 not at a camp. So the first 4 the first 2 hit really hard, and then obviously we don't get the camp back until part 6. So I love that atmosphere. Like you said, the woods just similar to the woods in the first movie and similar to that atmosphere. They kept the consistency going, which was great that they go away from for some reason in these movies. But another thing, like Nick mentioned, Sackhead Jason. I mean, a lot of people don't like him, obviously. They want the hockey mask. They want the Jason.
But why? But it's just so dumb. Like, I get it's not his iconic look, but like the performance is awesome. Like, I don't know. I personally have never understood that.
It's because they say he's so klutzy, he's clumsy, he's falling all over the place, he looks ridiculous. It's not scary. I don't see how it ain't scary, dude. It's a dude.
Those same people probably love Dick Warlock in Halloween 2, even though he walks like a fucking robot. But like, you know what I mean? Like,
you're not wrong. Tell us how you really feel, man.
Well, I don't hate Dick Warlock. I'm just saying I think people pick and choose sometimes, like little nitpicks about certain performances. Like, I don't know. The only Jason performance I don't like, I don't know if you guys agree, is probably Ken Kersinger. That's probably the only one that I'm just kind of like, this doesn't really feel like Jason. I don't know.
I agree. He was. I mean, they only got him because he was tall. So
no, I understand. He was a Canadian stunt actor. It was cheaper than Kane Hodder. Like, there's many reasons why they did, but it just doesn't feel like Jason. I think every other Jason performance is decent to good.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you, but I love Sackhead personally. Like if he's coming at you in the middle of the fucking woods, you're gonna be like, oh, you're not scary. I'm not gonna. Bull fucking shit, you ain't gonna run. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's like the question they asked a couple months ago, guys. In the woods, would you rather come across a bear or a man? Would you rather come across a bear or Sackhead Jason in the woods? A bear. Yeah, a bear. Because that dude's a fucking monster. But I don't know.
Yeah, if you could scare the bear, just fucking be tall and yell. If you yell at Jason, he's just gonna. Unless you pretend to be his mom. That's a different story.
There you go. Yeah.
If you're a dude, it ain't gonna work. So.
By the way, I was specifically referencing the kill of Alice because I know a lot of people look back on that and they're like, "Oh, they shouldn't have killed her." I've definitely heard takes like that over the years. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I didn't have this emotional attachment to Alice, so I didn't really care. And I actually thought it was cool because it was like, oh, she's living a normal life now. And Jason was like, You killed my mom, bitch. Like, I don't know. I dug it.
And he fucking dragged the head there and stuck it in a refrigerator. You know, that's what he does. Everywhere he goes, he takes his mom with him. It's adorable.
Yeah.
And he could have let that house fucking catch on fire or something, but he took that kettle off the burner and moved it back because he's a nice guy and he cares about the families there. So good for him. Good for him. I like him. He's nice. I got to talk about I will talk about the opening, but that's not in the good part for me personally.
What?
No,
Get the
not
fuck out of here.
not the killing of Alice. Something else. But Christian, back. We're not going to jump off the good section yet because you said you don't got much to, if anything, to say bad.
Right.
What else do you love about part 2?
You guys keep talking about the opening scene in Alice. It's like it's hard for me to just talk about stuff in a general sense because I'm way too nerdy about it. Number one, Adrian was going through a rough time in her real life. She was dealing with a stalker, so she was leaving acting. So she wouldn't have, if I live in a bubble, so I don't hear people say that they don't like Alice or that she shouldn't have died. Because the people that I usually talk to about these films basically could name every key grip that did these movies, much less like the behind-the-scenes stuff, right? But what I love about that scene is there's no script. She literally, like everything, they shot that, I think, in maybe a day or two, probably one night, and it was all just, there's no dialogue. So whenever she's on the phone or just walk around the house, like, there's nothing. There wasn't even a blueprint. Like, they just had to make an opening, and they wanted to kill her off, I guess. Whether she was contracted to do the film or not, I don't know, but there's something charming about it because if you watch it, sometimes when you learn about a movie, it can actually ruin stuff about it. Mm-hmm. But that scene, when I first watched it, I was like, what does she mean? Like, this is the only way I know how to get my life back, to rent a cabin, to rent a house, to get an Airbnb. What do you mean to, and it doesn't make any sense. But when you learn stuff, for me in this case, it makes me love that scene because it's like, it's all just we're going to make this shit up as we go along. But I really like Adrian. I would have loved to have seen her come back myself, but that's not to say that Amy Steele's not great too. I think that's the fan favorite, like main actress. I Final Girl. I'm just too old to say that. I'm sorry. So I think she's like the favorite out of all the main actresses.
Chris is better.
I don't know who my favorite is. I forget the actress's name, but she was in part 4, the sister. I loved her. I thought she was Trish.
Trish.
I can't remember the actress's name, but she was beautiful. I loved her. I loved her. I loved the person she played in that one the most. But it's funny. I love the opening scene now because like you just know that like they're literally making that shit up, and there's something charming about that to me. And the nerdy stuff of like, I love the scene in the bar where I can't help but laugh. I know it's not supposed to be funny when she just describes Jason deadpan and she's like a frightened retard. Like, it's not funny, but I can't help that this 12-year-old in me laughs every time.
Christian says it's not funny as the three of us laugh.
And they got that band just like ripping and roaring some like whatever kind of music that was, like country banjo stuff. But I love the background. There's a Kiss pinball machine. And my uncle actually has that Kiss pinball machine. And at that time, that was a brand new Kiss pinball machine. And to get nerdy, I think when that Kiss pinball machine came out in 81, Peter had already left the group and stuff, and then so he wasn't even in the band when that pinball. But my uncle has that pinball machine. It's in flawless condition. He's had it since the early '80s. He bought it, just held on to it his whole life. And dude, I just love this movie. Like, I'd be more interested. I don't want to just sound like a dork, but like I'd be interested to hear like what you don't like about it when we get there. That way I can just pick your brain. And stuff like that.
I got something. I don't know how you guys feel about it. One thing I don't like about this movie, I don't like that they killed Crazy Ralph.
Hey, I got that written down.
I feel like Crazy Ralph should have been the harbinger for like this series, dude. Like, and I get it. It's over the top. Like, it's like at that by the time you get to part 6, it would probably be like, oh Jesus Christ, it's this guy again. Because Crazy Ralph is like he's like Dr. Loomis in Halloween 5. Like, that's the kind of energy he brings.
Kinda.
But like, dude, I don't know. There's just something about Crazy Ralph that, and I like to kill. Don't get me wrong, I like the kill, but I wish they wouldn't have killed him personally. That's just like a minor personal gripe, I guess.
I got that written down as well, actually. I mean, eventually, I think maybe he should have died, but they kind of killed him off really early in this movie, too. It wasn't
Not
like
this
he made
early. Yeah, not this early.
He didn't even make it close to the end. He was a quarter of the way in, and he's dead. I don't know. Maybe keep him. I don't think he would have went to Higgins Haven, or maybe he would have, but I don't know. Keep him around for the first 4, because then obviously 5 shifts gears.
No! Keep him around for the first 4, and then in 5, he's the fucking copycat. He's Roy.
Wouldn't he be like extremely old?
Oh yeah, don't you like Halloween 2018?
Whoa, that's different. That's a different man right there.
Okay.
That's a beast right there. But I think Ralph, I would have liked him to stick around for a little bit more. Also,
yeah. Walt Gorney is the actor's name, and it's interesting because it's not really subtle. It's clear what they were doing, but I think Walt had passed away sometime, maybe a few years after too. But I think in part 8 they kind of try to redo Crazy Ralph with that that deckhand guy, and it's fun, but it doesn't hit the same, you know.
No. You're all gonna die.
It's a little bit more believable though, because like I'm sure some of these guys that like just like work on ships and stuff, they're probably a little messed up in the head. They're probably a little weird, like just being at sea all the time. But oh yeah, Crazy Ralph is classic, man. Like him in part 1, I just love it. He just sits in that pantry and just waits for the door to open. You know, who knows how long he was in there?
Come on,
but like, dude, that's the quirky, ridiculous. Like I imagine like when that movie came, just going back to part 1, like that probably scared the hell out of people. But like when you watch it in 2025 or even 2010 when I first did, like when you watch it again, it's like so funny. It's like, how long was he in there?
Yeah,
like what is he doing in there? You know?
You don't want to know.
Give us those baked beans back, you idiot! Get out of here.
Yeah.
Crazy Ralph feels like he could have fit in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. He could have been a member of the family,
hanging out with the cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's it.
He could have been the fucking cook, dude.
You're old.
Nah, they'd have made him grandpa.
What else I got? Obviously, good for me. Like you already said, one of the best final girls, one of the fan favorite final girls. Ginny, obviously, she's definitely a good part. And the third final act, definitely one of the best in the entire franchise, in my opinion.
Sarah says he was eating butt in there, Christian.
It's all
who's?
Yeah, who's? That's a good point. Kevin Bacon. It was Kevin Bacon, wasn't it? I knew it.
No, Kevin had already died, I think, at that point. Maybe
some
not.
people are into necrophilia, dude. I don't know what to say. There are Crazy Ralph. Would you be surprised if Crazy Ralph was in necrophilia? No. He's a good guy though, and like you said, they tried to replace him so many times. You had that guy in the middle of the road in part 3. I mean, I don't really know if that's what he was there for, but holding up the eyeball, kind of. That moment is so dumb in part 3. That is clearly just a 3D gag. I guess that's really all it is. Yeah.
It looks like my grandpa. Who does 4 have one? No, I don't think so. And then 6,
at one point in his life, Corey Feldman became a real life Crazy Ralph, but
no, he did.
He went through a lot.
He did.
I know he did.
Hey, Blu-ray says I wish we could have got the original sequel for part 2 with Ginny in the hospital fighting Jason.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that? I don't know about that.
I don't.
That feels too much like Halloween.
Halloween 2, exactly. Yeah.
Well, it would have came out the same year, so it would have been interesting to see 2 movies where they're in a hospital, but that wouldn't change history. I think part 3 is just a fantastic, fun horror film. Like,
Thank you.
I'm not a great person to talk. Like, I am, and I'm also not a great person to talk to about these movies because I've watched them so much and I adore them so much that, like, I don't know if I can really talk bad about any of them, really. Like, I really do adore these films. But I don't know. I'll shut up.
Is your least? Is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Your least favorite is the new. Is it the New Blood?
Oh no. I mean, my least favorite. I don't even like that phrase, to be honest with you. When it comes to this, like, I would put Freddy versus Jason or Jason Goes to Hell at the very, very bottom. Like, Jason X, I really, really have a lot more fun with. So, like, that one's above those. But, like, Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy versus Jason, Jason X is basically my bottom 3.
Mm-hmm.
Freddy
versus Jason, I understand. That's a bad Friday movie. It's a good nightmare movie, but it's a bad Friday movie.
Yes.
What?
I agree.
Freddy versus Jason is a bad Friday movie, but it's a good nightmare movie. That's how I would categorize.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, because they screwed that up. No, again, it's like I love all the movies, so I have to order them some way. That's how I would do it. I mean, I love Jason Goes to Hell, and I still like Freddy versus Jason. I still have fun watching it, but and Jason X, I love it, but I'm not I'm not gonna put Jason X over any of the Paramount films.
Top 5,
Absolutely
baby.
Not.
Top 5.
What?
No, to me, the Paramount 8, that's Friday the 13th to me at the heart and soul, and it always will be.
Matt, you got to understand that Jason X for me is similar to what Freddy's Dead is for Christian, where it's like nostalgia. There's just core memories tied to that one movie where it's just like, objectively, is it top 5? Fuck no. But like rewatchability for me, absolutely. That movie, I have so much fun with that movie. When I tell you 12, 13 year, it was 12, 13-year-old me was pausing that sleeping bag scene a lot. I was pausing that sleeping bag scene a lot, brother. Okay. Like, I got core memories for that movie. All right. Before the internet, before I had access to the internet. Okay. But I don't know, Uber Jason, there's just even the shitty, like, VR game with Todd Farmer. Like, I don't know, dude. It's so fun.
God, Jason X is probably my last place. I hate Jason X. Maybe I don't hate it. I just dislike it a lot. I
get it. I get it.
I've seen it in theaters.
It's interesting to hear Christian say that Jason Goes Straight to Hell, as he would say, is definitely near his bottom because, like, by the way he talks about it, and he's given context here. It's like, yeah, even though it's near my bottom, I still love all the movies.
Yeah,
so it's like
I do. I love I love all of them.
It's like I am with Halloween, except Resurrection. That's the only one.
There's no love for that.
I'll watch Resurrect. Like, dude, like, how much can you hate a movie after a certain point? Like, I'm being serious. Like, after a while, don't you get so sick and tired of just, like, being vehemently angry at a movie?
I'm not angry.
Like, I mean, seriously. Anymore. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Well, it sounded like it.
It's like I can hear the disdain. It's like, dude, the movie's old enough to fucking get married, have kids. Like,
it is.
Like, what's the big fucking deal? Like, please tell me. Like, it's a shitty movie, but it's like, who cares? Like, I mean, I fucking hate Resurrection.
If it's on, I'll watch it. I mean,
I fucking hate that piece of shit. Really?
If it's on AMC, I'll keep it on. I'm not gonna change it. If it's on, I'll watch it. But it's not one of the franchises.
I'm even saying that. It's like, I'll pass it by if it's on TV and I see it on. That doesn't mean I'm gonna watch it.
Christian's like, I'll do a 2.5 hour podcast episode watching it.
You know what I think it is, Facci? I'm not mad at you, Facci. I think I've been doing this for too long, and I hear the same stuff so often. I'm not talking about you, but I hear, like, it's wild to me how people, like, will get they'll. It's almost as if the movie did something to them.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just say, "Oh, no, Resurrection"? Like, I'm not that's the worst one. Okay,
Guys,
like
we
that's
gotta steer.
you know.
We gotta steer this back to Friday. The chat will start giving us shit for talking about Halloween.
Sorry. I don't
Well,
really.
I don't talk about Halloween that much, so I can derail on that pretty easily.
They will give me and Matt shit.
I don't fucking hate Halloween Resurrection that much. It's just not one that I want to watch.
No, you can hate it.
I don't
You
really
can.
hate it,
That's
though.
not that's not
Say
really
it
what
with
I'm
your
getting
chest,
at.
bro.
It's just not good.
Sure, absolutely.
I do like
Anyway.
Busta Rhymes, though. I know I'm one of the few people that probably does, but I get
dude.
enjoyment out of watching him do
Who doesn't love
karate.
Busta Rhymes?
Yeah, I don't give a shit what anybody says. He did not need to be in Halloween, but he's the most fun part of Resurrection. That's just a
Yes.
fact.
No.
That's
I'd have watched a whole Busta movie before I watched a fucking Bianca Kylick who can't scream for dick movie. Like, yeah.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that, man.
This is a great interview. Thank you for giving me a super chat for a Christian. I appreciate that. What else? And good, obviously, the kills in this movie were fantastic. My personal favorite, wheelchair kill, obviously. Mark was a good dude. Wanted him to
You're
be the
such
final
a-
guy. And
You're such a fucking
Yeah.
ableist, dude.
What?
You just want to see the wheelchair guy get killed.
I did not say that. He was in a wheelchair, but his dick still worked. He made it perfectly clear. So he was ready to get it on. I don't know how it was going to work, but they should have showed it before he died.
Well-
It was entertaining.
You don't know how it's going to work. You know the birds and the bees, right?
I think it's something like this, maybe. I don't know, like that.
You got like
Okay.
27 kids. You know how it works.
Dude, it's 4, and I haven't had one in almost 6 years, so I'm doing pretty good. So, and I can't have any more, so good for me. So we're good. We're all done.
Fachi's got his monkey back there.
He's right. Yeah, he's
You
back.
got your monkey.
I love that thing.
I do
Wait,
too.
my
I got
wife-
one.
Damn, Christian. We just got. I'm sorry, but
I got mine right there, Fachi. You see it? See my monkey?
Love it.
Little clown.
Someone just came at Christian on the last episode of the podcast saying, "You want to call NASCAR fans trailer trash?" I could say the same thing about wrestling, Christian.
I don't dignify people with a response.
It just came across. Anyway, go ahead, Matt. Sorry,
No,
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. But wheelchair's my favorite kill. No, it's not because he's in a wheelchair. It's just, it's very
Well,
enjoyable
It's
to
the
watch.
aftermath, like when
Yes.
he goes down the rail and magically a rail at a camp is bouncy and has
Dong.
give.
It's impressive. And he stayed upright the whole entire time. I'm assuming it was a real person, a stunt person in the chair, not like a doll.
Probably so.
Yeah.
It hurt like a bitch.
It would be more expensive to have had that be like an entire prop, I think, than just having a dude with a fucking like prosthetic on his face.
I actually wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was actually Steve Dash who did that. I'm not sure. I'd have to find that out. I met him before he passed away too.
Oh damn,
But,
he's dead.
Oh, damn.
He's dead.
Rip.
Ted White's dead.
I know Ted
Um,
White's dead.
Richard Brooker, obviously.
Yeah, I'm looking at my autograph now. I'm glad I went up and met him. I got his autograph right there. He was cool, man. I was the same height as him too. He wasn't a very. I'm like 5'11". If I wear shocks, I'd be 6 foot. But yeah, he was the same height as me. He was not a really big guy at all. And he was older. You know, sometimes maybe you kind of shrink a little bit when you get older.
Mhm.
But yeah, he wasn't. He's definitely not one of the bigger ones, which kind of makes. I like that too. Like I really like the big Jasons, but I also like the Jason for this movie didn't have to be a giant because he was very much like an animal
Mhm.
coming in and out of the woods and stuff like that. Now I love the shot of him running across the road too, where the cop is driving out of the camp, and you see on 4K, man. It's kind of hard to get because the movie's not. You have to buy that Paramount set, or you can get the 4K from Diabolic separately. But when I was watching that when it came out, which that 4K was sensational, man. It just rocked the house. Seeing that Jason run on the big screen in high definition was so funny because he's booking it. It's crystal clear. You just see him booking it through the woods. And that little shack, man, like I
It's
love
nice.
that shack. It was like it looks like it's gonna literally fall down. at any second. I'm gonna take that back. It's not the wheelchair kill. I think that whole scene is my favorite scene, if you want to call it kill. But really, for me, it's the scene, and I just love it. You know, the cop. If I'm that cop, I'm driving right out of there. But no, he got out of the car and he followed him through. I love that whole scene. That's probably my favorite sequence of the movie. I love that whole part.
That cop hustled, man. He could have just gave up halfway and said, "Fuck this." But he finished the chase. He finished the job.
Best cop in the series is part 6.
Sheriff Garris. Yeah, he's good. There's a cop in the first one, but they're used.
I was gonna say I like the cops in the first one because they don't do anything. They don't do anything. They say we're out.
Riding his motorcycle around, and we get the one at the end. Good stuff. So Nick? What would be your favorite killer moment in this movie?
Oh, I was just giving you shit. It's the fucking wheelchair dude. Like 100%. It's probably the most memorable moment in this movie. I genuinely think it is. Also, I will say too, just to piggyback, because Christian was talking about like you'd rather hear things that maybe you don't like. I've never been a huge fan, honestly, of the end, like the pussification of Jason. And I get it. I get why. And it's a common theme throughout the series. Like obviously his mother is his weakness, but like I'm just like I don't know. I've never been a big fan of it. Never really liked that moment. But yeah.
Okay.
That's that whole sequence at the end is probably the most Friday the 13th thing out of the whole entire franchise to me.
That's that, I just said it is a common theme throughout all the movies, so it's not out of step with Friday. I don't know. I guess I'm just not. I don't know.
Can you elaborate? What was
nice sweater?
What do you mean by the pussification of Jay? Like, I'm not trying to give you shit. I'm really having a hard time understanding what you mean by that.
I understand that he is, let's call a spade a spade. He's developmentally disabled. His mom's his weakness. So, of course, her playing off of that, like, I understand why she does that and why it works. I guess it's just different strokes kind of thing. Like, every time I've watched it, just like the realist in me is like, Jason, you know that's not your fucking mom, dude. Like, you're on this killing spree because your mom got murdered. Like, I don't know. It's just, and again, I'm not going to sit here and argue that it's not in line with Friday the 13th. As I said, it is. I don't know. It's never something that I've personally loved. I get it. It's his weakness. And I like Ali says in the chat, and I've said this before, I mean, I'll take it over fucking water and Freddy versus Jason. But yeah, I don't know.
I love that sequence so much. The only thing I wish that would have happened, or at least they had the film elements of it, is I wish they shot the ending where they zoom into Mrs. Voorhees' head, which I got to get one of those heads to put in this room. I'm missing that. I need a Uber Jason. I have every other Jason besides a couple. And Freddy vs. Jason, I don't have that. But they shot an ending where the mama's eyes opened up.
Oh.
But they claimed it kind of looked silly. But I wish we would have seen it. It was not on that effects reel that got put on the Scream Factory Blu-ray. And it's just as well. Maybe it's best that the eyes don't open up. But that whole shrine to the mom, like that is the most. When somebody just says the word Friday the 13th to me, like a few things always pop in my head. One of them is that visual.
No,
I love it so much.
The shrine's great. I love that he has the shrine with his mom's head on it. I agree. That's iconic, I think, when it comes to Friday the 13th. I don't know. Yeah.
I really love I love the whole weakness for the mom thing. And that was one thing I used to dislike about the remake. It's like, why would he hold this woman captive? Jason wouldn't do that. And then I kind of said to myself, maybe he would. You know, the only person he ever cared for was his mom. And to me, I justify it as And I kind of go the same thing with 2. Like, yeah, he realizes it's not his mom, but I think he just wants it to be. And I think that's the way for me, I interpreted that in 2. It's just like, for a second, I think he wanted so bad to believe that was his mom.
Mhm.
He kept looking back and forth, and then as soon as she gets, I love that. It's the one thing that that's what differentiates it to me from other movies, other slasher movies, because that's the one thing about Jay, and and stuff like that made me really go back and love 1 as well. But that's just my take on it. But I really do love, like I said, man, you're not going to really be able to get me to complain about much with this. I think part 2 is, I think for me, it's probably, if you're going to ask me like top 10 slasher films of the 1980s, this would definitely be in the top 10 of all time. I mean, this is just about as classic as it gets. This is 101, you know. I love it.
To that point, though, me personally, I would say, like, maybe that's why Jason has always been my least favorite of the 3, because he's the only one of the 3 with a truly identifiable weakness.
Okay.
Freddy doesn't have one. I mean, you can, if you bring him in the real world, but kill him in the real world, he doesn't die. Like, it's almost like you're like, yeah, we got him, and it's like, no, he's just back in the dream world now, dumbass. And then Michael Myers is just so unidentified. Like, you can't even like they try, like Rob Zombie gives him more humanity in the sense of like, it's similar to Jason in that sense of where it's like, oh, his family is his weakness. Laurie is his weakness. His mom is his weakness. But that was cribbing off of Friday the 13th. Like, it's so, I don't know. The identifiable weakness for Jason, I guess, and which also kind of always bothered me, because I feel like of the 3, he's the most physically imposing.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the irony in all of it, and maybe there's beauty in that irony. I don't know. Maybe that is the point, but I don't know.
I would argue that if Jason was physically imposing in 2, it would make way less sense. But I don't see him as very, very physically imposing in 2. Like I said, he was
maybe not in 2. Yeah,
you know,
He's a normal guy.
I would argue that Michael does have a weakness. It's called November 1st.
That's
true.
It's over.
What do you guys think he does the rest of the year?
Sleeps.
Well, that's the problem is, if you try to answer that, people
Eats
get
rats.
upset. People get upset. They don't want to know. And
Lives in the sewer. Yeah.
You know, if he either takes a long ass nap like a bear, or he has to be somewhere, and then people don't want to see that. Clearly, that's the thing about Halloween. Listen, I love Halloween, but Halloween and Friday the 13th is as well. But I feel like Friday just jumped the shark extremely fast to where it's like it's more like nobody takes it as seriously. But like Halloween, I really feel like it's a house of cards, and if you look at it the certain way, everything makes sense. But if you start asking a couple questions about stuff, it's like, wait, what?
Shut your mouth.
Because it's like, what the fuck does he do all year?
I could say, well, yeah, but you could say literally the same thing about Jason.
No, so that's what I said. Friday the 13th, complete, like, nothing after the first movie. Literally, nothing makes sense. Was he a dream? Was he not a dream? I think Jason was absolutely a dream in the first movie. He was not really there. It was a dream.
What do you think the Christmas cards in Haddonfield say? Like every year, they're like, "Oh, glad you didn't get killed by Michael this Halloween.
Merry Christmas."
Yeah,
you're here for another Christmas. Congratulations. All right, this is gonna be challenging for Christian because he ain't got nothing. But we're going with the bad, and I know Nick already talked a little bit about it.
Hold on. Pull that picture back up. What happened to Ginny?
That's
AI. AI murdered it.
Oh my god.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Don't just look at Jason. This is here for Jason. He's sexy. He looks good.
Baby Ruth.
Looks like it looks like the Goonies.
That's what I just did.
You guys. Yeah, but bad for me personally. No, we didn't even talk about him at all. My man Paul, you know what I mean? My man Paul, he's got killed by Jason, but I don't know when he got killed by Jason because he was there at the final act in the shack. So I don't. They say he's dead. I don't know how he could be. And then obviously the last part of the movie's a dream sequence, clearly because obviously Jenny's willed out on the stretcher, and if Jason jumped to the window, why the fuck would she be in the stretcher? But I don't know. They're never gonna get the answer to where Paul is. I miss Paul. He's a good guy. He's very handsome, and he's a good leader. You know what I mean? He disciplines well. He disciplines like I do. No seconds on dessert for Sarah. Okay. So my mine's Paul. He's bad for me.
Again, it's just like that's the thing about these movies, man. There wasn't a game plan. Everything was just like, well, clearly we're just gonna do this and be done with it.
Sounds good.
But I don't know. Again, it's like I've come to love all that. I guess just the silly ridiculousness of the stories in each one. Like all of them, like not there. You cannot connect the dots from even 1 to 2, much less 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also an argument that the first 4 films I think take place like in consecutive days. But anyway,
you're not wrong.
I think Paul. I think Paul died. I don't think that they really killed. Clearly, they didn't really kill Jason, and I think Jason took his body out to the woods and got some chilies.
Some chilies. So he ate Paul's ass, and then he ate. Okay. All right.
I think Paul died personally. So.
Damn.
But again, it's all just fan theory,
Yeah.
Which I can get down with that. I like to do some fan theory.
And Muffin's dead, that good transition earlier whenever he's making hot dogs. After they show Muffin's body. That's a good one. I like that one. So I get Christian ain't got nothing for bad. Not one thing. Nothing.
I mean it.
Not a
I'm too, dude. It's like I'm too practical. Like when I look at movies like this, it's like, how much did it cost? Oh, that's it. Okay. How old were a lot of these actors? Oh, they were like 20, 22. Okay. Like how fast did they film this? Oh, okay. Like I get too practical about that stuff, and it's harder for me to just shit on stuff, especially when I've watched them so many times, man. It gets harder and harder for me to. It's easier for me to be critical of stuff that comes out today, because I just feel like there should be no excuse to make shitty stuff. Like, I'll be honest, I feel like there's no excuse. Like, if people not figured out what sucks and what doesn't yet, clearly not, But, like, a lot of ways, these movies, dude, they were blazing a trail. Like, these were all, like, this stuff in a grand sense was, like, new. This whole new sort of, slasher genre, really. So, I mean, and this was at the heart of it. I mean, this was right at gestation, basically. This was 81, I think. So yeah, I mean, these are pioneers. So it's harder for me to be critical on the pioneers.
I mean, like I said, it's not like it's the biggest deal in the world. It's more
it's huge. It's huge.
That Paul's not dead or alive. It's huge.
I get what you're saying, though. It's just like
it's not huge.
It's tiny, real tiny, just like Jason. I get it though. I mean, it's not like really the only reason I put anything bad on here at all is just because basically it's just how I do it. Because honestly, I love this one. This one was number 1 for a very long time. So
it's my number 3.
Where's number 3 rank for you? If I had to guess, you would take 1, 2, 6, 4, and maybe 8 over 3.
Oh no way is 8 over 3.
Okay.
I know you got a lot of reverence for that movie.
I don't have reverence. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of reverence.
You do?
I know I love it, but I mean, it is what it is. I think 3 is a legitimately great. Again, Part 8 is ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely anybody that talks seriously about how good Part 8 is, run from them. Don't take anything they say seriously. Like, I love Part 8, but I mean, just saying the name out loud, it's just like if you start talking about character development when you say the name of that movie, you've completely lost the plot to me. But Part 3 No, seriously, part 3 to me, dude, that is a monster of a Friday the 13th film. I mean, there are things about that one that I think, in some ways, the one thing about part 3 I will say is better than a lot of them, maybe even 2, I'm not sure, is, dude, Jason in that one, I think is the absolute best of the entire franchise. So Jason gets the edge over 2. I love 2, but
Yeah.
3, 2, he's definitely alive. Like, he's like this, almost like an animal. And I love that. It works for the movie. But in 3, he's like a specter or some sort of ghost, the way he just creeps into the frame and moves around.
Christian loves the hissing. The hissing.
I love, dude.
Yeah.
I love that scene. I really do.
It's
like,
great.
I love
It's great.
that scene. 3 is probably, I think 3 is probably top 6 for me. I'd have to go back. I did a ranking like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't think, if I watched it, I probably would agree with what I would agree with it still today. No, 3 was very high for me. 3 was very high for me. All the first 4 are all very, very, very high for me. But 2 used to be my number 2. Part 4 is always my number 1.
Mhm.
And I think I used to go 2, then 1. I go 1, then 2 now. But, you know, I mean, they're both, I love them both so much. I love 2. 2 is, it's, like I said, dude, this is essential. This is 101. People, like, if you get into horror, this is a must. You have to love it. Not just watch it. You have to love it.
You're not wrong. And Nick, you already know where part 3 lands for me, so.
I know.
No, number 1.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I don't know why people don't like it though, man. I don't like. It's so slow. Nothing happens in the middle of the movie.
I don't know where.
Killed.
I feel like I must be in a bubble.
You're
I
in a
just don't.
bubble.
I don't hear that stuff anymore.
Well, look at the chat. Like, everyone
My chat's not working.
Well, like, everyone's in their top 5. Nobody's putting part 3 in their top 5.
Mark said 3 is number 6.
A lot of people shit on Shelley too, which I never understood. He really doesn't bother me at all.
He's
Like,
not
at
that
all.
bad.
Well,
He just
He's
wants
not
some
fucking.
vagina.
He's not fucking Franklin. All right, I'm sorry. He's
Oh,
not.
I love
Yeah,
love Franklin.
I know you do. I know.
Wheelchair guy.
I don't
go.
understand. See this. I really need to stop because I'm gonna go off on like major rants again, and I don't want to upset anybody. Like, I get so fed up when I hear shit like, I can't stand Shelley. I hate him. Here's an idea. Maybe the character was supposed to be annoying. Do you have to get a coffee with that guy in real life? Like, I can't stand shit like this.
That's true.
Like, surprise, maybe the character was supposed to be annoying because he's annoying the rest of the characters in the film. I don't.
Well, it's the same thing with people like with characters like Tina. It's the same thing like throughout these franchises, man. It's really annoying. It is like, even I say Franklin in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but like that he does what he's supposed to do. Like that's kind of the point of the character. It's not like he was like miscast or he didn't.
No, yeah.
Like he didn't deliver the lines the way they were written for him. Like, no, they wanted that character to be that way.
I mean, I get where he's coming from though.
This whole thing started with me when this movie called The Rental came out. This was right around 2020. It might have been COVID had happened or was right about to happen, and I love The Rental. I think not James Franco. I think he has a kid brother or something. Dave Franco. Yep. Maybe he's older. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
He's younger.
But I really enjoyed the movie, and so I reviewed it, and I remember a couple of days later, I looked at the comments, and there was it was a lot of people. And if I'm wrong, fine, I'll be wrong, but I'm not going to change my mind. So many people were like, I could not connect with any of these characters. They were all bad. Like, they were all POSs. Like, I couldn't do it, blah, blah. And I remember this is where I was like, I really don't get it. Do you have to be able to go on a shopping trip with one of these people? Do you have to be able to go out to dinner with them? Why is it that you can't watch the film and the situation that they're in, the way they talk to each other, the way they interact? Like, why? I understand immersing yourself in a movie. I do that to a fault. Like, City will try to like ask me to went for dinner while I'm watching a movie. She will have to get in front of me to yell at me to get me an answer because I love getting. But I truly don't get the. I didn't like any of the characters. They're all bad. Like, do you have to go get a coffee with them? I don't get this. What about the situation they're in? What about the way that they're interacting with each other? Are you interested in that? Why do you have to like them? I don't get it. And if I'm on an island, if I'm wrong, fine, I'll be wrong. But till this very day, I'm so burnt out, Facci. I've been on the internet too long. I do this too much, and I'm on the internet too long, dude. Like, I can't do it anymore.
Facci, this truly is UNEEDA on your channel because he's gone on this rant on UNEEDA before as well. And I was literally about to say, don't start talking about I didn't like this character or whatever, because Christian he'll get on one about that. He'll get on the soapbox but it's true, especially in slasher movies. Like
they're not going to be the greatest. They're not
one of Christian's famous lines is like, he'll make fun of me if I'm talking about a slasher movie and I mention how like I didn't really connect with the characters. He's like, who the fuck cares? That's not the point. What do you mean you didn't connect with the characters in a slasher movie? And I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know. Like, he gives me shit about that when I say it about Friday 2009. I'm like, I hated all the characters. He's like, that's the point. Like, you're not. What do you mean? And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe I just wanted to like fucking one of them. And like, you could make the argument, oh, well, like Daniel Panabaker or Jared Padalecki. Maybe, but like, I feel like they're bogged down by so many other shitty characters. But again, Christian will come back with, that's the fucking point. And I'm like, so I don't even have the conversation with him anymore about it. I just don't.
Well, my thing is if you were like, well, Christian, what I'm getting at is none of it was interesting to me. I just felt like I've seen it 1,000 times. It's boring, and it could have been way better. I can't argue with that. I think a lot of it's just the phrasing, too. Well, Christian, listen, I watched The Rental, and honestly, like, I just was so disinterested by watching these people. What am I supposed to say? I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
But the way people say this shit, like I said, dude, I do this too much. I just... like I said, I'm sure I'm the only... I'm wrong. I'm not saying people... I'm saying I'm wrong, but at the same time, I'm not changing. You know? And I'm not on some high horse. Anybody that watches me talk, I don't use fancy words. I'm not some aristocrat. I'm not a turtleneck wearing, guy that gets highfalutin about this shit. I use words like cool, awesome, and fun when I talk about these movies. So I'm not coming at a place of like, you guys need to up your game. No. But I do think some people just need to like use their own vocabulary.
Don't use the C word around Christian. Don't say cinematography.
Okay, I was like, are we talking about the other one?
He'll lose his fucking mind. He'll go, what do you know about cinematography? You're not a fucking director.
Like, but the funny thing is, I feel like most people agree with me, and I don't say it in a mean way, because I think they know what I'm getting at, and I know what they mean. They thought the movie looked gorgeous. They thought it was beautiful to look at. But I don't know, cinematography is just such a ridiculous word that comes out of people's mouths.
People who?
Not mine.
No, it's
me.
It's not. Listen. Do you say that? Sure, but no, it's not just you. You got it. You got it from everybody else because everybody says it.
I've made a concerted effort to not say it as much anymore. And in my Final Destination Bloodlines review today, you know what I said? I really liked the way the movie looked because yeah.
But see, but here's the thing. Here's the psychology of that for me too. I like the way the movie looked, man. I love the way they shot that. I don't want to say anything because it's brand new, but the way they shot that that building, the way they got out, like. That's so much more authentic and real to me. You hear these phrases so much in movie reviews, not horror, but just in general, that when you hear it, dude, when I hear it, I instantly just feel like I'm over it. Like, like whenever people, like, I'm disinterested in what you think about the movie because, like, I feel like you're trying to hit the script that everybody needs to say. I'm not, dude. Listen, you know what? I'm just gonna shut up.
You're right, though. No, you're right, dude. That's like when I started the channel first. Like that's exactly what I did, though. Like
I went through it too. Then finally, I listened to a video of myself, and I was just like, I don't even feel this way. But I felt like I was supposed to talk that way.
Step by step by step. Mm-hmm.
I
don't say the C word because I don't really know what that. I just like it looks cool. That's it.
It hasn't caught on. It hasn't caught on though.
Yes.
From what I don't watch a lot of reviews, like, but from what I understand, like, there's a lot of cinematographers out there that watch movies. Apparently,
there are.
Good for them. Good.
Like, you know what? If somebody went over the top with it and got funny, like they would win me over if they said, you know what, just got out of Final Destination Bloodlines. Just huge props to the aspect ratio. Just a beautiful. The 235 one was brilliant. Like they could have gone for the one. They could have gone for like the 140. Like they would. That would pop me. That would make me laugh if they went that route. Because at least it's something new.
Okay. Okay. That brings us to the last segment of this, and that is the judgment. What we think, and I know, people don't like to give scores, but I like to know. Instagram, when I put my poll out, averaged it all together, got a 4.2 out of 5. And then I did one on YouTube as well, and that got a 4.3 out of 5. So
there you go, Christian. There's some head for you.
Right there. Right in the middle.
Christian said earlier he wanted some mama head. There you go.
Where are you getting these AI pics of this stuff?
That's not AI.
It's like smoothed out.
I just got it on the internet, and then I put a filter on it. That was it.
Oh, you put a filter on it. Okay.
Actually, I think there might be 2 on that one. But
so your score was a 4.3 out of 5?
Well, that's what averaged out with the users of Instagram was.
Oh,
okay.
And then
YouTube we don't do the 0.2s and the 0.3s.
No, I just did. I know. I don't either, but
as soon as Letterboxd starts letting people do that, we've lost the fucking plot.
3.29 is what I give it.
I think those are. I think those are good scores though, and I agree with that overall. With what, it's a.
Let me see.
It's pretty universally, from what I understand. It's like, to me, it seems like it's very universally loved.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, you always have your outliers, people that not everybody's gonna like it, but for the most part, I feel like, part 2's probably
up there.
It's always it's always in the conversation.
Yeah. Any argument that it's not top 5 in the series, I think, is just false. I won't even hear that argument. Like, oh no, there's 5 better. No, there's not. You might have more fun with 5 other ones. There are not 5 better Friday the 13th movies in this one. There's just not.
You're not wrong. I agree.
There's only a couple I would accept from people. Like when it comes to the higher numbered sequels, like I would accept Jason Lives because people love Jason Lives. I think that's probably one of the fan favorites of all of them.
Isn't it weird how like Friday's Part 6 is universally loved, Halloween's Part 6 over time has really, I'd say that's garnered a cult following, and then Nightmares Part 6, everyone is like, oh, that's the fucking worst. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I like the 6s. I don't know if I'll ever come around on Freddy's Dead, but that's the one Part 6 that everyone's like, yeah, no thanks. Oh, fuck. Imagine if we got a Phantasm 6. Ravager was already bad enough. Holy shit.
We don't need that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you'll ever like Freddy's Dead, but if you started watching some David Lynch stuff in Twin Peaks, the movie will make a little bit more, I say more sense. You'll see what they were going for. This really quirky, confusing humor. in moments, and they're faint in Freddy's Dead, but there's stuff in there that's just ripped right out of David Lynch's playbook. But it doesn't work all that well because David Lynch doesn't have a playbook himself. There's nobody like David Lynch. So anybody that tries to do stuff like him, it doesn't equate.
I also just don't think it really works with Nightmare. Like I don't know if that, and it was telling that the next movie they were like, okay, we need to go way back to the basics because like we went a little too far here. And I give Talalay credit. Like she'd been around for a while. She understood Freddy. Nobody can make the argument that she didn't understand the franchise or Freddy. I don't know. I feel like they just tried a little too hard. But that's beside the point. Yeah, I'd give Friday Part 2 for like 4.5. I feel like now I probably would just give it a perfect score. I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, I can't. I have to really nitpick, and nitpicking is like preferences for me. Like I still can't look at it and be like, oh, that's bad. Like Crazy Ralph dying. Well, that's just a preference that I'd rather him live. That's not a bad decision. Like, you know what I mean? So like, if I really have to stretch my brain to find like, and I know Christian and I have talked about this too, about like, because a lot of people really do go overboard with these 5-star ratings for movies. Like, oh, this is 5 stars because I just loved it. But like, this is one of those movies where it's like, dude, if you really can't find much to bitch about with it, it probably is just like a perfect score. Like it probably is. Like we should also normalize that. We shouldn't normalize everything getting 5 stars just because, but we should normalize, hey, dude, if something really is just like pretty flawless, yeah, we should probably just give it 5, like, and call it a day. Like I don't think that is a problem.
Before you said that, I was right there with you. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 as well. But you're not wrong though. Like
it's okay to have multiple movies in one series that you feel like are just pretty damn near flawless. I also think that's another thing that some people have, that they're like, oh, it's this thing they bump up against where they're like, oh, well, there can't be 5 Friday movies with 5 stars, right? There can only be like one that's like the perfect one, right? No. You can strike gold more than once, buddy. Like, I don't know.
You're not wrong. I this one's right up there with Part 3 for me. After that, they might dip down a little bit. I know Final Chapter is a fan favorite, people being number 1, but not the biggest fan of that one. And so I could see how you could have free. Obviously, everybody's different. So,
well, I mean, Christian could make the argument literally right now, and I would hear the argument if he were just like, yeah, man, I think that the first 4 Friday movies are probably pretty damn near flawless. Like, I don't really know if I'd want to nitpick much out of any of them. Anybody could make that argument. And I'd be like, although the original isn't one of my personal favorites, it's like, that's not a far-fetched argument. Saying that about Halloween, I won't agree with. I don't think any series, well, no, I will say, I think Nightmare 1 through 4 is the strongest 1 through 4 of all of them. Personally, I do. That's just a taste thing, though. Because 2, 3, 4 Nightmare, I mean, that's just bang, bang, bang. I fucking love those movies. And the original I love too, but same thing with Friday, though. Like, yeah. I just think that the original Nightmare is a little bit stronger than the original Friday. So that's why I'd give Nightmare probably the strongest 1, 2, 3, 4 punch, personally. Christian's sitting there thinking about it.
I'm looking at Facci, see what he was going to say.
I don't know.
Hey, you're about to fucking say Halloween, and I'm sorry, dude, but as I've gotten older, I've really started to nitpick some shit with Halloween 4. See, I really have.
Look at that. I'm fucking typecast. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember you guys. It's so funny because I remember one time you guys were asking me it might have been this show. We were on your show. Like, do I think Halloween 4 is overrated? I'm like,
I think it was.
It makes no sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me to even ask that. Like, what does that mean? A slasher film from the 80s? How could it be overrated? How is that possible?
Well, that's not the fucking question here. Let's not rehash
so
that.
what is the question?
Well,
So-
I think all three of us pretty much agree that the movie really doesn't have many flaws. This movie.
Yeah.
So then I followed that up with what's the strongest
Best one,
1, 2, 3, 4 of the big three, and I think it's Nightmare because I personally think that Nightmare, the original Nightmare, is better than the original Friday the 13th. That's my opinion, though. Whereas I look at something like Halloween. I think Dream Master and the final chapter are better than Halloween 4. So I'd give it.
Yeah.
I would actually say Halloween's 1 through 4 is the weakest of the big three. Personally, I would.
Well, this is how I would do it. All right, let's say you said Christian. Okay, take those three franchises. Which part one is the best? Clearly, it's Halloween. Christian, which part two is the best out of all of them? I'd go Freddy's
Nightmare.
Revenge. Christian, which part three is the best out of all of them? I'd go Halloween 3. Christian, which part 4 is the best out of them? I'd go Final Chapter. I really can't
So
pick.
you
I
take
think,
Halloween then because you have 2 out of 4 and
two. If it was 2 out of 4, then yeah, I guess I'd go Halloween. Because you're not beating the original Halloween. All jokes aside, I've kind of stopped. The Halloween, I'm totally good with. I'm no longer making fun of Halloween fans. They don't deserve it anymore. Even though I am one of them, I'm done. I'm never talking bad about the Halloween fans ever again. I love every single one of them.
we just like good. We like good cinematography, dude. I mean,
We
that's
do. Good shots. Good shots.
Yeah.
It's good.
So I guess if I'm doing it that way, just by the process of making each 4 go, it'd be Halloween for me. You know.
And while I respect that argument, even as a Halloween guy, I would then go say that 5 through 7. I think Halloween clears both franchises, 5 through 7s. Personally, I love 5. I love 6, and
So that would be A New Beginning.
Jason Lives
Jason Lives,
and The New Blood versus Halloween 5, Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween
one.
H2O.
I'm sorry, A New Beginning, not Jason Lives. That's part 6. I'm just
Yeah.
saying A New Beginning is part 5 for that. Halloween 5, and then
Dream Child. You'd probably go
Dream
Dream
Child.
Child though.
Probably. I love A New Beginning, but I really love Dream Child, so I'd probably do that. Then 6 would be Jason Lives, Halloween 6, and then Freddy's Dead. It's absolutely Halloween 6. It's not even a question. 7 would be New Nightmare, H2O, and then New Blood.
New Blood. Yeah.
Yep.
New Blood. It's just a great movie. Bad News Cruise is my all-time favorite non-Jason character.
That is my least favorite Friday movie.
It's up there for me too.
And then the next one would be.
No, it's not. Jason Goes to Hell is my least favorite. My bad.
Then it would be Jason Takes Manhattan.
Well, no, I didn't say 8. I said 5 through 7 because
5 through
Resurrection
7.
sucks
Okay.
cock. But if we're, if we're doing 8, it would be Freddy versus Jason for Nightmare. It would be Jason Takes Manhattan, and it would be
Halloween
Resurrection. And I would give that personally. What's the most fun? Freddy versus Jason. What's the best of those? Freddy versus Jason is probably technically
the
the best
best.
movie. Yeah.
Compared to
Jason Takes Manhattan and Resurrection. Like on a technical level, I think it's
I mean, you could joke around and be silly about it, but it's Freddy versus. I'd say Freddy versus Jason because you could pick Jason Takes Manhattan, and I will watch that literally any day anybody wants me to. I love Jason Takes Manhattan, but if we're like really breaking down the scoreboard, like it's really hard to defend some of the ridiculousness of Jason Takes Manhattan on a critical level. So, but if it was Desert Island films, maybe if it was just like Christian, here's 3 movies, you can go watch one of these. Odds are I'd pick Jason Takes Manhattan. But if you're asking me to like do this on like a rating or a ranking, and I have to take it seriously, yeah, it's Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, Christian and I, when we railed against the Scream fandom, people were talking about it. Ali mentioned it in the chat about Scream fans. We did get a hate comment, Christian. I removed it, but and I looked at their history on my channel. They'd commented on 4 videos. They were all Scream related, and they were all negative comments. So I know where their allegiance lies. And they said, "You guys are always trying to gatekeep horror, and it's so annoying." Yes, if there's one thing me and Christian do with some of the fucking terrible movies we like, it's gatekeep horror. You're absolutely right.
You assholes. I knew it.
What are you gonna do?
Got the gate locked, and no one's getting in.
Yep.
No one. So for the first question that Christian was contemplating what I was going to say, I'm actually going to go Friday the 13th. I'm going to go. They're 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, I prefer. So
When did
I
I
guess
become
Halloween.
when did I become like the Halloweener? Like, I will absolutely take no disrespect towards Halloween 2 or Dick Warlock. Part 1, Halloween is clearly the best. Like,
well, that's the best.
are you kidding me? It's. I love
you
Friday the
didn't-
13th, but no, I'm actually gonna like stop you.
No,
I'm actually
you
gonna
didn't-
I'm actually gonna stop you. Like, you're not
You
picking
didn't
Friday the
become-
13th over Halloween.
Why?
You didn't become the Halloweener. What you're finally seeing, and I think a lot of people are seeing now, is that a lot of the hate for Halloween fans was pretty manufactured. And you got a lot of people that, not you, because I know you were just kidding, but like the people that actually did hate on Halloween fans, a lot of that shit was manufactured. They were just playing shit up. Like, we're really not that bad. Like, we're really not. Some of us actually do have critical bones in our body and can go, yeah, you know, this isn't as strong as some of these other ones. And that's okay. I may like the series more. That doesn't mean the quality of that series is objectively better than another. But it just became popular in 2018 to be like, oh my God, Halloween fans. So like there was just these weird caricatures like drawn of us that just aren't true. They never were true. But you see like 1 or 2 Halloween fans. Yeah, you can find the worst bunch. You can find the worst of a bunch of any series. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
that's called the Scream series.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Take that, Fauci, pull that goddamn mask down. Replace it with a hockey mask up there. Take that damn ghost
but I
face
love
down.
I love Ghostface and Scream.
No, I'm kidding. I like Scream too, dude.
They're over-
Like, it's not the
they're over
movies. That's
there.
not. Yeah,
Christian likes Ghost Mom.
I do like Ghost Mom. Scream 3 is fucking legit.
It is.
It's not. I don't know why people hate on it so
No,
much. It's a good time.
Christian
Well-
and I get a lot of shit when we talk negatively about Scream 4 because the Scream 4 fans are, for
I hate-
whatever reason, they're out and about. I don't get it.
I don't like
but-
that one.
The thing about Scream 3, I just really think sometimes when you step away from a movie after watching it for a couple times, so many times, and you take a good break, dude, when I went back and watched that movie, I saw it for what I think it really is, and it is. I think it's the only one that really embraced. Here's the thing about Scream to me. Like, the first movie is like, everything is the same. We're going to take all this shit and turn it on its head. We're going to be different. This movie is going to be different from anything else. That's what, to me, the brand of Scream is. And then all the sequels are ironic because they do exactly what Scream did, which Scream was trying to not do from every other horror film. It's a mystery killers, and you're trying to figure it's whodunit movies, you know, but with a twist. So like that's what all the sequels are to me, which is it's like the irony to me of Scream is that. But 3, I felt it said we're totally gonna embrace what this really is, and we have to just be completely meta and over the top. So I actually think 3 is, I'm not going to say a smart movie, but it's so, like, I really feel like they're not trying to be pretentious and say we're going to be so different and make this the best Scream yet, and
It's a
literally
Scoob-
do the
yeah.
same thing that the first Scream did. So I like Scream 3.
It's a Scooby-Doo movie. It's a rated R Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Scream 3 is. And if you grew up liking Scooby-Doo, I don't know how
like
you
it.
wouldn't like Scream 3 personally. But no, Christian said something that just blew my mind. He said, you know, like with a twist. And I was like, bro,
With a twist, that's what it's
M. Night Shyamalan directing a Scream movie.
With a twist.
That would be the worst third act ever. And I want to see it.
Well, you know what? Listen, I'm never going to count M. Night out because, you know, if some of my favorite artists have all had fantastic comeback records. And I feel that the same can be done with movies. And some directors have had great comeback records, so to speak, like Wes with Scream. I mean, the fact that he was turning movies down in the 90s is kind of impressive to me. Can't even lie to you. So yeah, I think M. Night can have a great comeback movie down the road. The problem is, I think what he really needs to happen is he needs his movies to tank. I don't think he feels the burn, so to speak, when his movies do well. Who cares? I mean, listen, the Friday series was built on just money alone. You think they were making these because they said, "Oh my God, did you guys see the Metacritic ratings on this one? We gotta do it." Oh, that didn't exist back then, but you get my point.
Yeah.
I think M. Night needs to feel the burn. I really do. I think he needs to tank a movie, like really tank a movie,
Bernie
and then
Sanders.
say, "Holy shit, I've got to find that eye of the tiger again. I got to get that grit back in me," because I don't think he has it anymore.
I don't know, dude. I gotta tell you, dude, old didn't make money, and everybody hated that movie. And then he followed that up with Knock at the Cabin, and it was like,
was Old a pandemic movie or no?
it was, but Knock at the Cabin was coming out of the pandemic, and that still didn't create waves at all. It didn't get good reviews, didn't make a lot of money. Trap, I kind of hate that Trap was successful because I liked Josh Hartnett in the movie, but it's not a very good movie. Like I can't. It's your opinion of it is skewed. I think. Like, and I mean you as like in general, your opinion will get skewed because you're like, God, Josh Hartnett is chewing the fucking scenery in this thing. But when you actually look at everything else around it, it's like, wow, this is pretty flimsy. Like this is not. But Hartnett's just really fucking good. But no, you are right. What was the wake-up call for Shyamalan? Dude, it was The Village and then The Happening, where people were vehemently against, like, holy shit, this guy has shit the bed. Took a little bit of a break and came back with The Visit, and people said, okay, maybe he's kind of bringing it back around. Then he made Split, and everyone was like, okay, this movie fucking rules. And he gets high on his own farts. Like, I genuinely think he does. He's like, oh, everyone loves Split. Oh, you're going to love Glass. And then everyone was like, what the fuck is this shit? And like, so I don't know, man.
It's kind of a bummer for me when I look back at the last couple years and I say to myself, holy shit, Paramount's making movies like Smile that are better than M. Night movies. Isn't that wild? Like, Smile and Smile 2 to me are better than M. Night's latest films. M. Night Shyamalan. That's just my opinion. But it should not be this way. Like, you know, he's in a predicament that so many people, I think, literally would die to be in. You don't say, hey, you going to see Trap? You say, hey, are you going to see M. Night Shyamalan's new movie? Dude, people die for that kind of, you know, following. Quentin Tarantino's one of them. M. Night Shyamalan's another one. And it's kind of surprising to me. But then again, you know, like, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm out of touch, and a lot of people do enjoy his latest movies, and maybe I'm wrong, but
no, they don't.
I don't think, you know.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Most people, even like big M. Night fans, would agree that he's definitely in this weird lull. Even if they wouldn't say it's bad right now. No one, if anyone were to go to bat and say that Old, Knock at the Cabin, Glass, or Trap are top 3 M. Night movies, you are a liar. I'm just gonna. Yeah. You're a liar. You're lying to me. You're lying to the internet. You're lying to yourself.
It's just wild to see somebody make a movie like Signs, which literally every frame of that movie is brilliant. It's perfect. It is palpable. It feels like one of the biggest movies ever made. And then to do some of the stuff he's doing now just feels like afterthoughts. Just feels like cheap ass scripts. That's what it feels like. It's somebody needs to do a documentary on the downfall of M. Night Shyamalan and like mail in the DVD of it, like so we can watch it. Like I'm always gonna pull for him. I really think he can still do it. I mean, if you've done it before, you could do it again. But man, I don't. It's kind of like the guy who directed the Halloween movies, the last 3.
David Gordon Green.
Yeah, he got knocked on his ass on this Exorcist film, and I think I said it initially, and I still feel this way. If I didn't, I apologize. I'm not trying to sound like I'm some know-it-all by any stretch, but I said, thank God he got fired. This is going to be so good for him. I mean, I still think so. I mean, dude, he was going to be in a horrible predicament to do 3 Halloween films, then he was going to do 3 Exorcist films. That is horrible for you to do. Thank God he got fired. You know, because I'm pulling for him. I think he's a good director, you know. It's just it's pathetic that they gotta like. Why is Flanagan the cleanup guy? Like, why not just let the guy do the stuff from the start? Like, it's almost insulting. I almost wish Flanagan would have turned it down out of principle. You know, I'm glad he's doing it because listen, I'd almost sell my soul, be willing to sell my soul right now. It's going to be a fantastic film, not good, fantastic. I'd almost be willing to sell my soul that it's going to be that good. But why does it have to be this way? Why is Flanagan the cleanup guy? It's ridiculous. I mean,
the only thing I could think is that it was 2 things. It was that Blumhouse was just over the fucking moon about the financial success of the Halloween trilogy. So they were like, fuck it, let's give this guy the next one. And 2, Flanagan probably was busy doing something. I mean, that dude is literally always shooting something. Like,
well,
always.
Fair enough, but, you know, I don't know. I
don't like how Flanagan is becoming the Stephen King guy. That's not to say that his Stephen King stuff doesn't rule, because it does. But I don't like that he's getting pigeonholed into that. Because, like, some of his best works are original works. Like, everybody creamed their khakis over, like, Haunting of Hill House and stuff. And Haunting of Bly Manor. And it's like, yeah, they're good for sure. But, like, Midnight Mass shits on both of those. Absolutely shits on both of them. Like, I don't know. I don't want him to get pigeonholed into doing one specific thing. The guy's way too good. Way too good. Like, they're doing this Carrie series now that he's the showrunner of. And I'm like, who asked for a Carrie series? I'm sure it'll be good, though. It's Mike Flanagan. But still, I'm like, who asked for this? Like, I didn't ask for this. I actually liked the 2013 Carrie remake. I actually really did like that movie. I'm like, we don't need to revisit this 10 years later. Like,
Dave, do me a favor. Pull up Blu-ray Addict's not newest chat, but the third to newest chat he has.
Third to newest chat.
I gotta read this out loud.
What the hell is it? What the fuck is going on? Oh, fucking StreamYard or Restream sucks at this part. Is it the
I still never watched Signs.
Is it?
No,
but
not
I
that
have
one.
watched Scary Movie.
I'll just read out loud because Facci's butchering this. Yeah, Blu-ray Addict says he says I still never watched Signs, but I have watched Scary Movie 3. What I love about this comment is, Blu-ray Addict, I know you're a viewer of my channel, so I love you, but I'm laughing at this because we have not once talked about Scary Movie. Like, at first I read it as Scream 3, and I don't know if Blu-ray Addict meant to put Scream 3, or if he's just saying, you know what, hey, I haven't watched Signs, but I have seen Scary Movie 3.
Well, yeah, because they parody Signs.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
Oh, okay, that makes total sense. I still think
aliens
it's funny.
piss out of their fingers and shit. Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm ready for a new one of those, but I hope that they go all the way with it and they have to offend everybody.
The Wayans are back. And the rumor is that Regina Hall and Anna Faris are both coming back too.
Oh yeah,
so good.
Anna has to be in a Scary Movie. I love that. Was it the first one or the second one? She's singing in the car and the radio tells her to shut the fuck up.
That's the second one when she's on the way to the house. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the second one is goated. That is one of the best movies I've ever made. Like,
dude, Shorty gets rolled up into a blunt and smoked by a demon tree.
Dude, I'm ready for that.
Yeah,
I remember they did a Scary Movie
Scary Movie 5. Yeah, it sucked
bad.
That was the one that came out in like 2011.
Yeah.
That was bad.
It was rough.
It was bad. But the Wayans weren't involved in that one.
Nope.
Right? No, they were. Yeah, you could tell. It felt pathetic. It was all low-hanging fruit in that one. It was just shit. I think I even just went to go see it just because of what's her face, because I love her. What's the actress? Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, I think I went just because who doesn't love Lindsay? So
Oh, a lot of people loved Lindsay.
I'll tell you what I'm
They
excited
did.
for. By the way, is Freaky Friday 2.
I'm good.
I'm fucking pumped to see.
The sequel that I want from Jamie Lee Curtis is Christmas with the Cranks too. Let's go. Come on.
Dude, I'm pumped
Let's
for
go.
I'm pumped for MILF Lindsay Lohan.
MILF Lindsay
She's
Lohan.
perfect age, dude. She's 38. Like, dude, I can't
Yes.
wait. She's gorgeous too. She looks so
She
good.
is.
We'll leave that all for you, buddy.
I'd fuck Jamie Lee Curtis still.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
All
Dude,
right.
Jamie's got some knockers. All right, let's call a spade a spade.
Oh yeah, I mean I know that's the only reason you even mentioned Christmas with the Cranks.
No, I love that. I love that movie.
It's so
love
good.
that movie, and I know that like so many people hate that movie. That was like the butt of so many jokes. Like it's fucking terrible. It's like
I love it.
I've never understood
well,
why people think it's
dude.
terrible. Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis are hilarious in that movie.
I think it's so bad it's good. Like I love it. It's like
How is it worse than any other Christmas comedy?
it's a lot of Christmas comedies are so bad they're good. Like I'll tell you this is what I'll tell you. Like I will take movies like Christmas with the Cranks over like A Christmas Story and stuff like that, because Christmas with the Cranks, it's like their
too.
only agenda is to just fucking ham everything up. But it works because this is why I say it's so bad it's good. I don't mean that as a negative. For me, a movie that's so bad it's good, it's when clearly the movie, everybody plays it straight. Even if their characters are quirky, they play it straight. Like, I know for a fact Dan Aykroyd believed he was the head of the HOA in that subdivision. And he believed it. But when you watch it, it's ridiculous. That's what I mean.
Dude,
I love that.
Jamie Lee Curtis hiding in the house when they're outside wanting Frosty.
You thought Michael was coming. You thought Michael was coming. That's what I'm getting at. That's how with horror movies, I always say, and I even said that's what I liked about the Final Destination movie. Like I said, don't worry, audience, I'm not gonna. I know it just came out, but I like that they play it straight in those movies. That's why they end up being a little bit more funny than if they try to be silly, because that's always difficult. I think that's why a lot of people didn't like Hard Eyes, because they were like, "Oh, they're all joking. They're supposed to be scared. They're joking." I think that.
Well, I was going to say, you mentioned Final Destination. I just want to say, me and my entire theater, like everybody laughed out loud when one character says, "Is that why he always wanted to play catch with me?" Dude, that was fucking hilarious.
Oh yes.
Hilarious.
And don't get me wrong, there's absolutely moments of hysterical dialogue in the movie. I would say some, but I just want to be respectful. But like for the most part, they play it straight, like it's like a heart attack. What's going on in the film? I love that. To me, that always is how I like my horror comedies.
Also, by the way, just for everybody real quick, if you haven't seen Final Destination, I would say go check it out. And if you're somebody that's worried about trailer spoiling stuff, this is one of those rare instances where this trailer didn't spoil. If anything, the trailer misleads you. And I actually loved that. Watching this movie, I was like, dude, the trailer showed you things that you thought were going to happen, and they don't. And it's actually fucking awesome. They need to do more trailers like that where there's fake outs. And then you go see the movie and you're like, that did not happen the way I thought it was going to. That was really smart marketing by New Line. Again, New Line could bring Freddy back and they could make a shitload of money. And I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't.
Well, I had a conversation with somebody the other day and I found out why. It's not New Line's fault.
It's the Craven estate, correct? That's what I had been told. I know it's not New Line's fault. It's more Craven's kids, the estate.
I don't. When we get off.
Okay.
Just because. Yeah.
I want to get Nick off here soon anyway, under the table. That's why his hands are moving. I'm just jacking this shit out.
No, I have ADHD. I have ADHD, and I can't sit still. That's why.
Well, my son has it, and I think I gave it to him because I can't fucking focus very long. So
I can focus. I just can't sit still. But
your knees shake a lot. I shake my knees.
I'm literally look at my arm. That's because it's resting on my leg right now, and my knee is just bouncing.
Something. Never mind. I'm not even gonna say what I'm gonna say. Forget
I'm
it.
like a statue half the time. You can. Yeah, you have to touch me to see if I'm moving. To see if
Yeah,
I'm
I know,
breathing.
Christian.
I mean.
I got plenty of screenshots from episodes of UNEEDA where you're like a fucking potato sitting there like mouth open, fucking.
Okay. We'll wrap this puppy up. Even though we stopped talking about Friday the 13th Part 2 about 45 minutes ago. So
Yeah, it's because you brought me and Christian on, buddy.
I'm sorry.
You should have fucking known we were gonna go all over the fucking map, dude. You listen to 2 hours of UNEEDA and you're like, oh, you guys are talking about death. Oh, you guys are talking about boobs. Like the episode's titled like Scream 3 rocks, and we talk about Scream 3 for like 5 minutes. Like
hey, we did talk about Friday for a long time, at least an hour. So
yeah.
if you watch the beginning of the video, you'll get our thoughts on Friday the 13th.
We do a Scream 3 commentary, and Christian dedicates 30 minutes of it talking about Ghost Mom. So, like, I'm just saying, like, that's what you get.
That's what I signed up for. Obviously, most people in here are probably already subscribed to both of them, but links are down below for both of their channels. They're both fantastic motherfuckers. I'm glad they came on tonight and hang out with me and talk Friday Part 2. Now that we realize it is a 5 out of 5 movie and it's flawless is what I learned from this episode. So
there you go.
Thank you both very, very much for coming and hanging out. If you're watching after the fact, let us know down below what you guys like or even dislike about Friday the 13th Part 2. Next week.
You're wrong, by the way, but
yes,
go ahead.
Yes. Next week's Friday the 13th Part 3. My favorite, so that's going to be another fun episode talking about that.
Hey, I could have gone harder at that, Christian. I heard you laugh. Yeah, I still have that clip of Christian saying, if you don't like I say if you don't like Halloween 5, fuck you. And Christian just starts laughing out loud.
Oh, man, that was funny shit.
So, I guess you could say the same thing. If you don't like Friday the 13th Part 2, then...
Yeah, but you don't get a lot of people hating on it.
No, they're like, that's
Halloween 5 is the fucking ginger. You know, the ginger that it's just like, fucking leave him alone, dude.
Leave him alone.
I like Jason. I like Jason takes Matt and doesn't suck. You suck.
Yeah. I mean, I got the idea of the Halloween 5 quote because Christian has said the exact same thing on UNEEDA before. He'll say like, if you don't like this, you're wrong, or if you don't like this, fuck you. Like,
it's expected at this point.
Go back and watch the Halloween 5 commentary from UNEEDA that Christian and I did because it's one of the best listens.
It's brutal if you hate that movie.
Yeah, because me and Christian, I mean, Christian especially, he went in on people on that.
I just remember because I was sitting on my couch like this, holding my microphone, and like I think like just every scene, I'm like, what's wrong with this? Like, look at this. Look how great that is, man.
Good cinematography. This is incredible.
Yeah. The aspect ratio is fucking
the
popping.
C word.
I think like you remember that like there's a moment where like Jamie's like running under the house and stuff. Like I would find any excuse to be like, dude, look at her go! Like this is great. Like, you know? I do love that movie though, but you know,
yeah. Well, that's what you get when you bring the two of us together on one stream, Matt. So just know, normally you go like an hour or so. Yeah, you went almost 2 hours a night, buddy.
I will add this just for the audience. I don't know. I don't know if I'll talk about this movie on my channel or not because maybe not. I always have a backlog of stuff I got to do, but I'm embarrassed to say I haven't seen this. But me and Cindy are going to watch The Butterfly Effect tonight.
Oh, nice. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Like I used to see the VHS tape all the time, and I grew up watching Ashton Kutcher on.
Dude, it's not an easy watch. It actually is really sad. Like it's in a tragic way. Like it's a really fucking good movie. They made a DVD sequel that doesn't have Ashton Kutcher. Never watched it. Heard it was god awful. Don't waste your time with it. Now Christian's like, now I got to buy the 4K if there is one. But
the DVD, I'll get the DVD.
Yeah, but the first one is really good.
And I want to recommend people to do a double feature soon. I think Facci should actually do this show. Just don't. I mean, you don't bother me about coming back on for at least a month, but you should do a show about Haunt. I'm kidding, Facci. I'm not going to be a dick like that on live stream. But you should do a show. You should do a show where you battle Haunt and Hellfest.
I love them both.
Because let me tell you something. They're both fucking awesome.
They are.
I love Hellfest. I love Haunt. And I love talking about those movies. So you should watch both. Have you seen both of those?
I have.
Well, you sound like you sound like you don't like.
You're a
them.
fucking Hellfest guy, aren't you?
Me?
Yeah.
Matt, you're a Hellfest guy.
I love them both. I got the.
Oh, wait, what's the problem
Ronin
then? If
box
you like
set.
Say it. Say you're a Hellfest guy. I know you are. Say it.
Hellfest is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but Han's better.
I think I am a Hellfest guy.
Nah, I'm a hot guy, bro.
Dude, okay, so there's
My
this
mask is
guy,
over there somewhere.
Facci, you need to do me a favor. There's a guy named Lorne Dixon. He has a YouTube channel called Visited by Voices.
Okay.
Go look up. I'll send you the video. When Hellfest came out, nobody went to go see it. Lorne went to go see it. Lorne hates everything. Lorne loved Hellfest.
Oh.
He loved it so much that he contacted somebody on the he contacted the production designer. And he was just he loved the movie so much that he started talking to one of the productions. He talked to somebody involved of the film just to talk to him, tell him how much he loved it. Lorne ended up buying all the screen used stuff from the movie from this guy for nothing because he was like, dude, all this shit's worthless. Like, we're not doing any sequel. The movie tanked. It made no money. This was, they sold it as from the producers of The Walking Dead when nobody cared about The Walking Dead anymore. The movie, everything about it was just too bad, too late, whatever. And he has all this shit from the movie. He's got the actual hero mask from the movie. There was a scene that got cut, but you see a little above it. He's got this giant clown head. Looks like a twisted metal clown head that was in the film. And he told me when to pause the movie. You can see it. Dude, it's gigantic, this clown head. He's got all those pictures when they were in the photo booth together. He actually gave me one of them because he had a couple of them, and he sent me one of them. And I said, is this in the movie? He goes, they had a couple of them made. They had 4 or 5 of them made. Which one is in the movie they don't even know because they just had spares. One of them was on film. It could be the one I sent you. It could not be. But he has he bought all this shit from him. So he just has all this stuff. It's fascinating. If you knew Lorne, he hates everything. And he's critical of everything. But he fucking and here's the funny thing. It's there's so many things about Hellfest you could criticize, but he don't criticize none of it. He loves it. So it makes me, whenever I think of Hellfest, I think of that because I laugh every time I think of Lorne, who is Lorne is he's a writer and stuff. So I get where he comes from. He's a very break stuff down in a psychological. He's not highfalutin is the kind of word, but he doesn't use words like cool,
he's
fun.
An intellectual.
Yeah. He's an intellectual. Thank you. That's exactly my point. I'm not that, so I don't even know how to use that word, much less remember the word intellectual. But he loves fucking He loves Hellfest.
It's awesome.
I'll send you that video because you got to see the props. It's fascinating. He's got the big fucking hammer, the clown hammer, all this shit. He just bought all of it from this guy because they were bummed out. Dude, the movie tanked. And they were going to throw all this. All this shit was in a garage for the movie, so he just bought all of it. And then, of course, what happens is the movie gets a cult following. Trick or Treat Studios starts putting up the masks.
Still on the mask. Yep.
Anyway, I need to shut up.
I love that movie. That's a good topic, though. That's a good topic, and that is going to do it for this crazy ass episode of Friday the 13th Redo Review with UNEEDA. And I shouldn't have expected it to go any other way.
Who's doing the next ones?
The next one is my buddy Brett from Good Real Hunting, and then
I love Good Real Hunting.
And then the final chapter, hopefully, should be Lee from Drum Dums.
Oh, who else you got?
Part 5, I got Piz.
Nice.
6, I think I have Vincent DeSanti.
You have Vincent DeSanti to come on for 6? Very nice.
7, I'm not sure yet. Maybe Brandon. Maybe Tabata, possibly for that one. 8.
Go get Garrett. He needs something to do. He doesn't stream enough.
Garrett, he's coming on. I think part 8 for Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, really?
It'll be me,
I was
Cody,
joking,
and
by the way,
Justin.
yeah.
It'll be me, Cody, and Justin. So,
who are you getting for Jason Goes Straight
Jason
to Hell?
Goes to Hell will be
you should just reach out to
Ken from Sledgehammer.
Just reach out to Adam Marcus, dude. He'll probably do it.
Jason X is Justin because
You should
loves
you
that
should
movie.
bring Adam Marcus on and pull up the the first thing you do is Rotten Tomatoes critic score 4, audience score 14.
Then
Start the show out with that.
and take the fucking image back down, and he's gone.
Dude,
Okay.
here's the thing, dude. Do you want to be remembered, or do you just want to run a good show? If you want to be remembered, you'll do it. Dude, Bloody Disgusting would post about this. Streamer invites Adam Marcus on, trolls him live.
Right on.
Could you imagine?
This guy's an asshole.
Let's
Then everybody
get
will
the audience
hate me.
score, Adam. I got bad news, Adam. Adam
won.
stop.
Let me tell you, we would have done that had we seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn before we had Timo on.
It'd be so funny though if we got him back. Timo, welcome back, brother. So we polled the audience for the audience ratings and scores.
We could show him my fake Wikipedia edit about Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
That'd be funny. But I want you to imagine you get him
It has
on.
a
You're
0%.
Imagine you bring Timo on and Timo, welcome back, man. Jeepers Creepers Reborn. It's been a couple years now since the film's out. We polled the audience, got their ratings. Are you ready for the rating? Yes, I'm ready. Well, brother, if you're playing golf, you'd be doing great. What do you say?
Dude, it's one of the rare movies that has a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. It literally has a 0.
Goose.
Do y'all have
love it.
Facci? Did you get the steelbook for that movie?
I thought about it a bunch of times, but I didn't.
Dude, I pre-ordered it like a motherfucker.
I knew you would.
And me and Sydney watched it. I told I tricked her. She was like, I was like, Sydney, it's like a Renaissance sequel. It's so good. And she hated it so bad. Dude, honestly, it was awesome in the theater.
Yeah.
And I say awesome in the sense of it's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, watching it at the house on a 43-inch in the bedroom, dude, it's brutal.
You want to get Christian excited? Start talking about the weather vane. Weather vane.
That's the greatest Final Destination scene of all time. All right, Facci, wrap it up.